Alright, so we were discussing about organic compounds, and if you will recall, di ba nag-experiment tayo? We performed an experiment about the presence of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, di ba? So for the carbohydrates, there were two chemical tests na ginawa natin, di ba? So we have the test for sugar. So anong reagent yung ginamit natin for the test for sugar? So we use Benedict solution, di ba? So Benedict solution will change color, magbabago yan ng color to green, to orange, to red, depending on the amount of sugar. And also we perform the test for starch, di ba? So anong reagent yung ginamit natin for the test for starch? So we use iodine. Naalala niyo yung iodine, di ba? So when the test food turns black or blackish purple, so that means that starch is present. Okay? So yan yung mga ginawa natin for the presence of carbohydrates. Okay, then we have the test for lipids. So natatandaan nyo anong ginawa natin sa test for lipids, yung brown paper, 'di ba, yung translucency test. Pag mas translucent, ibig sabihin na mas maraming lipids. And for proteins, ano yung ginamit natin na test for proteins? So we made use of the Burette test. So dalawang reagents yung ginamit natin. So we have sodium hydroxide and copper sulfate. So if the solution turns violet or purple, that means that proteins are present. Sige, so let's continue. So these organic compounds, basically they form large molecules. Ang tawag natin dyan ay macromolecules. And again, there are 4 macromolecules. So you have the carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids, and lipids. And many of these macromolecules, they form polymers. Like yung carbohydrates, polymers yan, they form polymers. Proteins, they also form polymers. Nucleic acids, they also form polymers. Except for lipids. The lipids are macromolecules, but they don't really form polymers. Alright, so what is a polymer? A polymer is a long molecule made up of repeating units. Diba? Nalala niyo yun. And what do you call the repeating unit of a polymer? So ang tawag natin dyan ay mga monomers. Smaller units or monomers, they join together to form a polymer. Yan, mga repeating units yan. So again, ang tanong, how do monomers join? Okay, how do monomers join together to form a polymer? So the process is called, kung naalala ninyo, the process is known as dehydration synthesis. Diba? Kasi yung isang monomer, a monomer has 2 terminal ends, dalawa yung dulo niyan. So first we have the hydroxyl group, yung OH, and at the opposite end is the hydrogen ion. Yung hydrogen ion, positive yan. Yung hydroxyl ion, negative. So, pag magsasama yung dalawang monomer, the hydrogen ion is attracted to the hydroxyl ion. So, pag nagkaroon ng attraction, alam niyo naman yung law of attraction, unlike charges attract. So, H plus HO, you form H2O. Yan, so matatanggal yung water. Water is removed, kaya nga tinawag siyang dehydration. So, pag natanggal yung water, yung monomer na to will join with the shorter polymer to form a longer polymer. Kaya nga synthesis. Synthesis means to combine. So that's what we call dehydration synthesis. And tignan nyo itong animation na to. So you have monomer A and monomer B. And so the hydrogen ion of monomer A reacts with the hydroxyl ion of monomer B. And so water is removed. And monomer A and B, they join together to form a polymer. So that's how polymers are formed. Monomers, they join together through dehydration synthesis. Alright, so what about if you want to break or to separate the monomers of a polymer? So what do you do if you want to separate the monomers? So, babalik na rin natin ngayon yan. We add water. No? Magdadagdag tayo ngayon ng tubig. And that's what we call hydrolysis. No? From the prefix hydro. Hydro means water. And lysis means to separate or to break down. So, you break down the polymer by adding water so that you separate the polymer into its monomer units. Ayan, like ito. Binaliktad lang natin. So, kanina, di ba nag-join yung monomer, yung polymer A and B. O, binalik natin yung tubig, nag-separate yung dalawa ulit. So, that's what we call hydrolysis. And if you will recall, last meeting, we started with carbohydrates, di ba? Ano bang function ng carbohydrates anyway sa cell? Like what we mentioned before, living things use carbohydrates as a source of energy. Source of energy yan ng ating mga cells. Okay, and plants and even some animals use carbohydrates for structural purposes. No, like yung cellulose and chitin, no, kung naalala ninyo. Alright guys, so again, carbohydrates, they are compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Kaya tandaan nyo lagi yung CHO. Yan, CHO. So carbohydrates, they are compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And yung proportion or yung ratio ng carbon to hydrogen to oxygen is 1:2:1. Ayan, so tandaan nyo yan ha. And the main function of these carbohydrates is to provide energy. Living things use carbohydrates as their main source of energy. Ayan. And like what I mentioned earlier, for structural purposes. No, plants, even some animals, use carbohydrates for structural purposes. No, like yung cellulose and chitin. Ngayon, itong mga carbohydrates na to, they form polymers. And what do you call the monomers of carbohydrates? Ang mga monomers ng carbohydrates ay yung mga monosaccharides or simple sugars. Ayan, tandaan nyo yan guys. Yung mga monomers ng carbohydrates are the so-called simple sugars or yung mga monosaccharides. O, ilan yung mga monosaccharides? There are 3 monosaccharides. Tandaan nyo yan guys. 3 lang yan. O yan na to. Glucose, galactose, and fructose. Glucose, also known as dextrose or blood sugar. Yan, tandaan nyo yan ha. Nasa dugo natin to. And glucose is the immediate source of energy for the cell. Alright, then we have fructose. Ito yung chemical structure ng fructose. Fructose is the sweetest sugar and it is found in sweet fruits and honey. Kaya nga tinawag na fructose. Fructose galing yan sa prutas. And we have galactose, which is a major component of lactose. Lactose is also known as milk sugar. And galactose is a component of milk. Okay, so moving on. What about if we combine 2 monosaccharides? Like if we combine glucose and fructose, you form what? You form a disaccharide. Tandaan yan ha, you form a disaccharide. There are how many disaccharides? 3 pa rin yan. There are 3 disaccharides. One of them is sucrose. Diba? So tingnan nyo guys, look at the formula of sucrose. So sucrose is composed of 1 glucose and 1 fructose units. Ayan ha, tandaan nyo yan guys ha. Ayan o, so memorize nyo yan. Sucrose is composed of 1 glucose and 1 fructose unit. And sucrose is asukal, sugar. Ito yung tinest natin, yung Benedict's test. Yun yung yung test for sucrose. Yan, kasi asukal yan, di ba? Yan, present yan sa soft drinks. Saan pa yan? Present yan sa mga chichirya, mga ganyan, no? So, sucrose yan. Okay, then if you combine 2 glucose units, 2 glucose, then you form maltose. Maltose is also a disaccharide. And maltose is also known as malt sugar. and it is found in beer, wheat, and barley. Yan, so tandaan nyo yan guys. Maltose. Maltose is malt sugar. It is made up of 2 glucose units. Ayan, no? So, and they are combined through dehydration synthesis. Ito yung nagtanggal to ng water. Kaya nag-combine yung dalawang glucose. Now, if you want to break down maltose into glucose units, edi you add water. Sige. So, and lastly, we have lactose. Ito, lactose is also known as milk sugar. And lactose is formed by combining 1 galactose and 1 glucose. So, 1 galactose plus 1 glucose, you form lactose or milk sugar. So we have monosaccharides, we have disaccharides. Now if you combine more than 2 sugar units or 2 or more monosaccharides, then you form complex carbohydrates. Or ito yung mga polysaccharides ng carbohydrates, so the polysaccharides with many sugar units. Okay, large molecules formed from many monosaccharides are known as polysaccharides. Alright, so ilan ba? Ilan ba yung ating mga polysaccharides? Okay, there are only 4. O yan ha. So we have starch, glycogen, cellulose, and chitin. Sige, so umpisahan natin sa starch. Ayan, so starch is a storage polysaccharide. And ang starch is found in plants. Diba, no? Okay guys, so ano yung chemical test na ginamit natin for the presence of starch? Diba yung iodine, nalala nyo yung iodine? Diba? And what are good sources of starch sa halaman? Di yung mga potatoes, corn, kanin, puto. Ayan, yung puto rich in starch. Naalala ko kasi puto may sumisigaw sa labas namin eh. Puto! Kutsinta! Yan, very rich in starch yan guys. No? So, ano pa ba? Yan yung mga carrots. Yan, very rich in starch yan. Okay, so tandaan nyo yan guys. Starch is the storage polysaccharide found in plants. And starch is made up of a long chain. Ito, very long chain of glucose units. Kaya nga poly, many. So starch is made up of a long chain of glucose units. Now, the counterpart of starch in animals is glycogen. Okay, glycogen is the storage polysaccharide found in animals. Alright, so sa hayop ito makikita, and glycogen in the animal is stored in the liver na nasa atay ito. So, let's say when the level of glucose in our blood runs low, pag bumaba yung ating sugar level, glycogen from the liver is broken down into glucose, which is then released into the blood. Okay, so very important din tong glycogen as a storage carbohydrate sa hayop. Kasi pag bumaba yung glucose level natin, glycogen from their liver will be broken down into glucose. Yan, hanggang sa mag-recess, hanggang sa kumain na sila mamaya. Those are your carbohydrates. Alright, ito pa, dalawa pa. So, we have cellulose. Yan, saan makikita yung cellulose? Cellulose is a structural polysaccharide. Tandaan nyo ha, structural polysaccharide ang cellulose. Hindi siya storage unlike starch and glycogen. And cellulose is found in the plant cell wall. It provides support to the plant. Kaya sa cell wall siya makikita. So, yung papel ninyo, di ba, yung paper na gawa sa kahoy ko is made of cellulose. Di ba, na sinilip nyo sa microscope, yun yung letter E. So, nakita nyo yung mga cellulose fibers. Yan. So, paper. Yan, may cellulose yan. Cardboard. Yan, yung upuan basta gawa sa halaman. Kahoy. Yan, maraming cellulose yan. Alright? Yung damit ninyo made of cotton. Yan, cellulose din yan. Nagaling sa cotton. Okay, and lastly, we have chitin. Chitin is found in the exoskeleton of arthropods. No, sa yung shell ng ng crab, yung shell ng hipon. Hindi yung shell ng ng tahong, iba yung composition ng shell ng tahong. calcium carbonate yun. Pero yung shell ng crab, yung shell ng hipon, yan, chitin yun. Okay, so those are the carbohydrates. So we have the monosaccharides, yung glucose, fructose, and galactose. We have the disaccharides, we have sucrose, maltose, and lactose pala, lactose. And the polysaccharides. So dalawa yung polysaccharides. Yung storage polysaccharides, we have starch and glycogen. And yung structural polysaccharides, we have cellulose and chitin. And let us now continue with the next organic compounds, the lipids. Ayan, so pag sinabi nating lipids, when we think of lipids, ito po ay taba, fats. Pwede rin nating isama dito yung langis, oil, fats, and oils. Ang mga lipids, ito yung malalaking mga molecules. These are large molecules and they are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Parang carbohydrates din, no? They're made up mostly of carbon and pero mas marami ang hydrogen. And etong tandaan nyo guys, sa lipids, they are not soluble in water. Ayan ha, tandaan nyo yan guys. Hindi sila, water and lipids, they don't mix. Kaya tingnan yung mantika, di ba? Ang mantika, hindi siya natutunaw sa tubig. Yung butter, di ba? Mahirap hugasan yung butter kasi butter and water does not mix. No? And usually slippery sila, yung consistency nila medyo madulas, slippery. And ito yung importante talaga, they are not soluble in water. Hindi sila, they don't mix with water. Alright? Okay, so there guys. And anong function ng lipids? Lipids, just like carbohydrates, they store and they provide energy to the cell. Lipids can be used to store energy. Now, some lipids, they play an important role in biological membranes. Yan, mamaya paliliwanag ko yan. And as waterproof covering. Pero ang pinaka main function ng lipids is to store energy. Alright? And may mga lipids called steroids and they serve as chemical messengers. Diba? Alam niyo yung mga steroids? Pag narinig niyo yung steroids, comes into your mind. Pag narinig niyo yung salitang steroid, mga lipids yun guys. No? Mga lipids, no? Yung mga ginagamit ng mga bodybuilders. Ayan, kasi mga chemical messengers yan. Alright guys, so yun, that's an overview of the lipids. And there are three major types of lipids. Ayan, ito, tandaan nyo to ha. There are three major types of lipids. So we have the simple lipids. Under this, we have fats and oils. We have the phospholipids, and they play an important role in the manufacture of biological membranes. And the steroids. Steroids are lipids that are characterized by a carbon skeleton consisting of 4 rings of carbon atoms. So, tignan nyo itong structure ng steroid. So, there are 4 fused rings of carbon atoms. Mamaya paliliwanag ko yan. And for the phospholipids, ano siya, may ulo. No? Parang sperm cell. So, may ulo siya. Yung ulo niya is hydrophilic. Ano ibig sabihin ng hydrophilic? From the Greek word philos, meaning love. So they are attracted to water. Hydro means water. So ang literal meaning ng hydrophilic, water loving. They are attracted to water. Yung dalawang fatty acid tails, tignan niya to, dalawa yung buntot niya. Ang mga fatty acid tails ay hydrophobic. So anong ibig sabihin ng hydrophobic? Phobia, ano ibig sabihin ng phobia? Fear, hydro, water. So, water-fearing meaning that they repel water. So, yung dalawang buntot na yan, they repel water. So, dito muna tayo sa simple lipids mag-focus. For the simple lipids, they are composed of a molecule called triglyceride or triglycerol. Okay, yung mga fats and oils. they are made up of this molecule called triglyceride. So, bakit siya tinawag na triglycerol or triglyceride? So, everybody, can you look at this? So, you have one glycerol molecule. Meron siyang isang glycerol. Yan na yung yellow. Nakikita nyo sa ating PowerPoint. So, you have one glycerol molecule bonded to how many fatty acids? O, ilang fatty acids yung nakikita nyo? O, tignan nyo yung ating PowerPoint. Ilan yung fatty acids? So, 3. No? Kaya nga triglycerol or triglyceride. Yeah? So, you have one glycerol molecule bonded to 3 fatty acids. Ayan. Okay, tinawag siyang triglycerol or triglyceride. So, itong triglyceride or triglycerol is present for fats and oils. Ayan, no? So, ito yung triglyceride or triglycerol. Okay, and there are two types of simple lipids. We have the saturated fatty acids and the unsaturated. So siguro naririnig yun na to, nakikita nyo ito sa mga labeling ng mga pagkain. Saturated fats or unsaturated fats. So anong pinagkaiba ng saturated in contrast to unsaturated? No? Pag sinabi natin saturated, it means that the molecule or the food has the maximum number of hydrogen atoms possible. So, parang ganito guys. Ayan, no? So, kung makikita nyo dito, eto, tong saturated fatty acid na to, the molecule is full. Ang daming hydrogen. So, pag sinabi kasi nating saturated, puno na. Puno na yung molecule ng hydrogen. Ayan, no? So, animal fats are usually saturated. Yan, yung butter. Ayan. And usually translucent sila sa sa brown paper. No, kaya tingnan niyo yung nung pinahin niyo yung butter sa brown paper, nalala niyo yan last week. 'Di ba? Talagang translucent yung dating no, when you put the brown paper against the light. Kasi punong-puno siya ng saturated fatty acids, no? So animal fats are usually saturated. They have the maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Alright, in contrast to unsaturated, guys, so tignan nyo itong unsaturated. Tignan nyo ito, ha? Compare this to saturated. Now, everybody look at this. Puno ba siya ng hydrogen? Puno ba ang molecule ng hydrogen? Tignan nyo itong gitna. Ayan, no? Anong tawag dito? Yung parang equal sign. You call this a double bond. Usually, ang mga unsaturated may double bond. Ang saturated wala. Puro single bonds. Eto, puro mga single bonds yan. Pero ang unsaturated may double bond and hindi puno ng hydrogen. Alright? So, pag sinabi nating unsaturated, they don't have the maximum number of hydrogen atoms. No, they don't have the maximum number. Kaya nga unsaturated. Okay guys, so ayan na, nakikita nyo na yung difference between saturated and unsaturated. Again, pag sinabi natin saturated fatty acid, the molecule has the maximum number of hydrogen atoms and puro single bonds ito. Ang sources ng saturated fatty acids are animal fats. Yan, kaya lechon. O kaya kumain kayo ng lechong manok. Wow, punong-puno kayo ng saturated fatty acids. And usually saturated fatty acids, they are associated with mga cardiovascular problems. Yan, no? Tataas ang blood pressure or prone to stroke or heart attack pag masyado tayong kumakain ng saturated fatty acids. Yung mga foods that are rich in saturated fats like lechon, yan, liempo, wow, mga favorite ko yan, no? Lalo na yung liempo na puro taba, yan, lechong manok, ayan, no? Alright guys, alright, unsaturated on the other hand, again, they don't have the maximum number of hydrogen atoms. Okay, nakikita nyo ito, hindi puno yung molecule ng hydrogen. And may double bond. And like ito, may double bond siya. Okay, like plant oils. What are plant oils? Yung mga oils or lipids na galing sa halaman. Kaya 'di ba naalala nyo last week, anong ginawa ko sa inyo noon? 'Di ba pinagdikdik ko kayo ng mani? Tapos pinahid nyo sa brown paper. Anong napansin nyo doon yung pinahid nyo yung mani sa brown paper? Pag hindi masyadong translucent, malamang unsaturated yun. So like yan galing sa mani, di ba? May mga yan, peanut oil, peanut butter. Ayan, mga unsaturated yan. Ito, yung olive oil. Kaya di ba sinasabi nila yung olive oil ay healthy? Di ba ina-add natin yan sa salad? Di ba salad is a healthy alternative daw? O di ba? Kasi ang olive oil, unsaturated. So those are the saturated and the unsaturated fatty acids, mga simple lipids yan. Let's now proceed to phospholipids. Ayan, ang phospholipids naman, like what I mentioned earlier, meron siyang ulo. No? A phospholipid has a head. The head is hydrophilic. Ano ibig sabihin ng hydrophilic? Water-loving. So the head attracts water. Okay, tapos dalawa yung buntot niya, no? Dalawa yung hydrophobic tails. Yung dalawang hydrophobic tails are hydrophobic. Meaning, anong hydrophobic? They repel water. Okay, so saan ba ito ginagamit? Ayan, ito. The phospholipid molecule makes up the cell membrane. And the cell membrane has how many layers of phospholipids? There are 2 layers of phospholipids sa cell membrane. So, ang tawag dito ay phospholipid bilayer. So, ito yung ulo niya, yung yellow. So, you have the hydrophilic head and yung mga hydrophobic tails niya. And there are 2 layers of phospholipids. So yan ang phospholipids. So the phospholipids, they play an important role in the cell membrane. Tandaan nyo yan guys, sa cell membrane makikita yung phospholipids. And lastly, we have yung steroids. Diba? Ang steroids, kasi bakit wala yung steroids ko? Basta tandaan nyo lang yung steroids, mayroong 4 na rings. There are 4 fused rings of carbon atoms. These are the examples of steroids. I-note down nyo na lang guys. Number 1 is cholesterol. Okay, cholesterol is a steroid. Cholesterol also is a component of the cell membrane. Okay, and we have yung mga hormones. Yan, yung mga hormones. Like what? Yung testosterone. Testosterone, steroid yan. Yun ang mga tinuturok ng mga bodybuilders. Testosterone para lumaki yung muscles nila. Testosterone is a steroid. Yung estrogen sa mga babae, yan, steroid din yan. Okay, yung mga hormones na yan. Hormones are steroids. So, those are examples of steroids. Again, steroids, these are lipids that are characterized by a carbon skeleton consisting of 4 fused rings. So, pag may nakita kayong ganito sa exam, sabi ko na sa inyo, pag may kayong nakitang ganyan sa exam, anong iisipin ninyo? Steroid. Steroid, ha? Mga examples ng steroids, yung cholesterol and yung mga hormones. Ano yung mga hormones na nabanggit ko? Testosterone sa lalaki and estrogen sa babae. Ayan ang mga steroids yun. Okay guys, so there. Sige, so probably this will be the last for today. Ito, let's talk about proteins. Ayan, proteins ngayon tayo. Okay guys, so proteins, these are macromolecules that are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Pero may dagdag. Anong element yung dinagdag? So, 4 na elements ngayon to. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. So, tandaan nyo to guys. Pag may nitrogen, ang isang compound or ang isang macromolecule, malamang protein yun. Kasi may yung presence ng nitrogen. And proteins are polymers. Ano yung mga monomers ng proteins? Ang mga monomers ng proteins are the amino acids. Ano yung amino acids again? Amino acids are the monomers of proteins. Function ng protein sa cell. Proteins, they help build and repair cells and tissues. Patandaan niyo yan guys ha. Proteins, they help build and repair cells and tissues. They don't provide energy. They are not energy molecules. So, ang mga proteins, they help build and repair cells and tissues. Tandaan niyo yan guys ha. Alright, and yung mga enzymes. Yan, enzymes are also proteins. What are enzymes? Enzymes, they control the rate of chemical reactions. Yan. And itong mga enzymes na ito are proteins. Okay, so ano yung ginamit natin na test ulit for the presence of proteins? Ito yung burette. Di ba nalala nyo sa ating experiment yung burette? So ano yung mga reagent na ginamit for the burette? So you have sodium hydroxide and copper sulfate. Basta pag naging naging purple or violet. So ibig sabihin pag naging violet, may protein siya. And this is the structure of an amino acid. Tandaan nyo to guys ha. An amino acid is composed of the following. So you have a central carbon, you have an amino group. Tignan nyo yung amino group. Ano yung element na importante dito? What is the most crucial element here in the amino group? It's nitrogen. Ayan na nitrogen. So basta yung amino group, nitrogen siya. May nitrogen. And you have here the carboxyl group, COOH. No, COOH or the carboxyl group. So ito yung amino and yung carboxyl, ano yan? Fix yan, hindi yan nagbabago. Ngayon sa amino acid, meron tayong tinatawag na side chain. Ito yung letter R. Nakita niyo itong side chain. So, ang ibig sabihin ng side chain na ito, any element or any molecule can bond with the central carbon. So, nakikita niyo itong central carbon or alpha carbon. So, yung side chain na to, ibig sabihin na to, any element or any compound can bond to the central carbon. So, with this, meron tayong 20 different amino acids, no? So, yung amino group na may nitrogen and yung carboxyl na COOH, hindi yan nagbabago. Fix yan. Ang nagbabago is yung side chain. So, yung side chain na to, any element or compound can bond with the central carbon. Okay, at tingnan nyo yung bonding ng dalawang amino acids. O, diba? Looks familiar. O, so, nagtanggal ng tubig. Diba? So, the two amino acids, they join to form a polymer. So, anong tawag dyan? So, ang tawag natin dyan ay dehydration synthesis. Ayan, nagtanggal ng tubig. No? Okay, guys. So, with that, there are 20 different amino acids. Amino acids differ from each other in the side chain. Kasi any element or compound can bond to the central carbon. Yun yung sa side chain. So, lahat ng mga amino acids, they differ only dun sa side chain or yung R group. So, we have 20 different amino acids. Like alanine, serine, yan. Glutamine, yan. So, naririnig yung glutamine, diba? Yung pampabata, pampatanggal ng wrinkles. Yan, amino acid yun. Alright, so there. Ayan, no?